Greetings and salutations, YouTube travelers. The Timmix here, back with more Motorsport Manager. It's the Surging Absurdity Challenge, second of the pro level. And it's time for race 2. This is going to be in Rio de Janeiro. I'm really excited about this particular challenge because there's so much stuff going on. Obviously now we're in a competitive race after the first one. We finished a solid second. Behind Hammer, but a point closer to them than we are to Spartan in third, and everybody else sort of stirring the ashes, at least at this early moment. We've got the up-and-comer Mia Holgersson. We've got the veteran Will Baggs, who is decreasing quickly enough that he's probably going to lose some of his ability towards the end of the year. Could be his last year as a racer. We've got some parts that we're working on developing. Financial situation seems pretty good. Then there's the whole gimmick for this challenge, which is going to require constant monitoring and careful decisions for how much fuel we need at each stop due to the variability in the harvesting efficiency. So definitely going to keep us on our toes, and as our car gets faster or slower relative to the competition, then how all of those pit stops work is going to change. So it could very well be that no two races are the same in this challenge. A lot of up and downs coming. And, there's no prizes for second place. We need to win. We need to beat Hammer and Spartan and everybody else. So let's see what we can do in Rio and see if we can at least stay close to the top. The usual one day. And also looking at the part condition, you can see it looks like overall we leave 60 to 70% gap, and I think we did well enough that I think I want to try to just squeeze out another 5% on everything. See how that works. Okay, JTV Sports says, how do you feel after a first full weekend in charge of an international GT championship team? I feel great, fairly happy, but the job has only just begun. Yeah, I think that's the right answer. No effect, thanks, Walter. Walter Hoffman, of course, being our character for this. Hard-fought win for Gabler. Okay, and Andrea Gabler definitely looking like the driver to beat. Okay, so there's our repair done, and let's get to work. Now we are designing a new spoiler, but before we get to that, what do we want to work on for this race? We want the engines and the spoilers up to maximum. Third choice would be gearbox, and we want to try to get everything up to 100% if possible. So, but first going to go with the engines and the spoiler. Now, the spoilers, we don't have any of the ones that we're planning on using just yet. So, I don't think I want to go there. What I definitely want to hit then the engines and the gearbox for reliability. Let's just take those out for now. And I'm going to want to max those out. And then who's next of the remaining ones? And I'm going to go with the suspension and this other spoiler. I'm going to try to get one of these spoilers going for this race. So let's say it was this one, the second one here. It looks like it's got a little higher positive, so I could work on that one. But I should have time to. It's 86 and this is only 83. I should have time to work on that later. I'm going to go with that. Okay, let's boost performance. Let's definitely go with the engines, and not the gearbox. Let's just use the crucial items. So the 2 engines and the 1 spoiler. And yeah, we don't want that all the way over there. We want reliability. And yeah, he's a little bit better reliability, but way better performance. Want to stick with that approach. And there's our spoiler. And they're worried about Tanverja of Gruda Racing possibly retiring. I don't really care. Okay, let's take a look at what we've got here for this spoiler. And it's at 100%. Huh. That's weird. It's actually worse than that one. Yes. Go back into design. And I did the random legendary component. I don't know why that wasn't showing up on there. So it looks like it just gave us reliability boost instead of an ability boost for the random legendary one. And the thing about it is that's not one of the ones that's shown down here to get it up to 100%. So what I think is going on is it's giving us any of the possible random, like any of the possible legendary components. And the problem, some of those might be plus risk level. So I don't think I want to go any further with that. So we've got a 407 and a 417 as compared to our current like 280 or whatever. That's a big difference, but I think I want to switch development now. And let's focus in, because I don't want to... Okay, let's take off these suspensions. Well, at least one of them, because we'll want to put that on there. And then who's the next lowest? I believe it's going to be that set of brakes. Okay, so it's going to be close getting everything done. So we got the two gearboxes, those two, and the one spoiler that's all the way up already. Let's yank that spoiler off and put those two on. So any gains we do get going to those. Okay, so everybody's pretty happy. There, and then what do we design next? Well, I think obviously we want to shift to brakes. So we're obviously going to want to just go with the no timer cost and make it cheaper option. And then I think every couple of days here, I mean, look at how high our spoiler went. We're up to the top car, #1 spoilers. Everybody's happy with that. But I mean, look at the brakes now sticking out like a sore thumb. So let's work on that. And I think every couple of days I'm going to want to check on the parts here. The spoiler up to 44%. But I think I want to keep the gearbox, all of those. The only question is that one brake part. So yeah, I think I just want to keep these in and then just see how that rolls. Don't need to be in the HQ. And there's our next brake set. And of course we're not going to want to use that. We just want to keep designing our way up the tree. Let me go back a second and see where our current parts are for the brakes. Not down there. Okay, so we're looking at 325, 331. So a modest improvement so far, but we're not really going up. And this is Mitchell Abrams. Oh, the spoiler was actually worse. This the second worst part that he's got. Okay, we'll just use this for the current moment just to get a second part in. And then we can, we can go up there eventually. So build this one, and then we'll start looking at how many of these do we want to build and how high up do we want to go on the brakes. You can see the brakes boosting also. We're not where we want to be, but we're getting closer. Back to the factory. Okay, the spoiler's up to 57%, so that's getting most of the work as the rest of this works its way upwards as well. And you know what, let's yank off that bit and throw it on that suspension. Get in a few more days. Let's see. Wants us to improve our design center. We don't think we're going to do that because we already got stuff working on in the HQ. Brief report on Rio. 33 laps, almost 4 miles. Lap record just over 2 minutes. That'll be a long if that holds up. Likely to be some rain, 35% chance. Spoilers being the key part that is being focused, and with our new spoilers we should be looking much better there. 4 days, okay. And let's yank off that 97% there and throw back on one of the brakes. Okay, we're almost there on the new set of brakes. Lori is the hot favorite. It's going to take something special to stop him. Andrea Gable looking to add to her trophy cabinet in Brazil. Take all their money and put it on me. I'm a shoe-in. And then David McNamara, ex-driver, also going with Lori. Lori drives for Spartan, Gabler for Hammer. So they're picking our rivals, not us. Let's hopefully make them regret that decision. Okay, and these are at 100% reliability, so let's pull those off. And then throw on another brake and another suspension. We want to watch this closely now. Yeah, we just go the tiniest bit and we've got our brakes finished. And we are now up to, well, it's still 351. That was 361, now 350. Oh, because I choose a different part. Yeah, okay. So let's get a handle now on a more permanent approach to brakes. Okay, so we're definitely going to want these two here. And that one. And that one. Now the question is, do we want to go up to 6 for another $1 million each? And then this. So if we got both of these, then it'd be like we'd be paying $1.5 million extra for those parts, because $1 million here plus the $250K, but we'd be getting 60 more out of it. And yeah, I don't really have to decide yet, because I definitely want to go up to a 4th. So let's just do like that. Take 8.5 days. And You know what? I don't think I want to select this one. I think I just want to select that. Because it'll still, as long as we're using at least good, it'll let us use the great parts for the next one. And I'm not going to want to grab this. So yeah, that'll be a little cheaper. And then we'll have to decide with the next one if we're ready to go or if we want to go and do this here for the extra. It would be significantly more performance. But also significantly more cost. So that could be a tough call. But with our need for the brakes, I might just want to take that plunge. That would get us, you know, near the top of everything, at least for the moment. And frankly, we might need that. Okay. So I'll have to ponder that with the next bit here, but I think I'm probably going to want to go for it. Okay. So, and then the suspension, like the engine could stand to be a little better. That's going to be more and more of a problem as we go on in the suspension. So, and then that's the other thing. I could spend some of that money on these parts instead of the brakes. So, yeah, I'll have to ponder that some, I think. Still at 99%. I think we just want to stick with this for at least another day. Okay. Now let's see where we are. We're 100% on the engine. So we should be able to put everything else out there. We're not going to have any new brake parts. The engine, oh, they're actually not. The engine actually not there, even though it says 100%. What about the gear? The gearboxes weren't quite there either. Okay, so they're. It says they're at 100, but I guess there's some fractional amount that they're missing. Okay, so let's take off those. Put the gearboxes on. Okay, reliability improve. Completed. Okay, so now we've got all this stuff ready. We've got the spoilers ready. So we'd want to put on the brakes. And then the suspensions. You can see they got that one suspension. Looks like it's the only thing that we're not going to hit here. So we're really close. And we did get, like, this was 361. So we got a few points out of these. Not a lot, but we got a few points of improvement. And every little bit's going to help. Let's head off to Rio then. Of course, we're going to take the 9th place or better. The 2nd or better would give us a little bit more money, but we're not that confident in ourselves yet. They think we're going to finish 2nd with Bags, 3rd with Holgerson. See how we do compared to that. Now it's going to be 27, 23. Probably rainy and 23 degrees. And that's definitely going to be super soft, not ultras territory. Okay, let's take a look at our weight stripping. Again, we want to take down an extra 5% on these and see how that works for us. It is a bit of a risk, but I think we're going to be able to manage it. Now, this suspension, not going to quite get everything out of it. Yeah, so 85, 75. $300 and $315. And I think the difference is just, yep, it's that one slot with the suspension. So nonetheless, you know, getting to 300, pretty good level. And let's get set up for the race here in Rio. It's going to be hot and none of the rain that they talked about, at least to start. That should do. And let's get our super softs first, because that's the tire we're going to want. And he's going to want a really tight suspension there. Looks like, yeah, all the way over. Okay. See how that works out for bags. And I think we're ready to get this rolling. Okay, race trim. And alright, go out for a lap of qualifying. Then come in, make some changes, and probably switch to race. Revving pretty loud out on the track here. The GT cars do seem to be louder than you know, the single-seater open-wheel racing style. Looks like we've got a slight edge to the super softs among the other teams that are out here. Holgerson looking pretty good after that bad form, and Bags at 7. If they hold this anything close to this kind of form, I'd be very happy, particularly what happened with the first race, where both of them were in the mid-4s, basically, below par. Holgerson happy with her gear setup. Bags is not. He's like, you know, I need some more speed. As he rolls towards the end of his first lap. So we're looking at around 1:20, not 2 minutes on this track. Okay, and Bags is pretty good, except for, yeah, 90%. The only thing that we're really off on is let's get more speed. So let's go there and then see. We can adjust it from there, but that should be close, if he is right about that speed issue. So I really want to make sure I get the super softs as high as I can, and also the race trim. And okay, we got rain coming. So Holgerson wants more weight in the front of the car. We will definitely get to that. But I don't want to pull her in just yet. I want to keep her out there. I'd like to just come in with the rain and make some changes then, since I know I have to come in then anyway. And then let's stay out here on these super softs as long as we can. Yeah, we're not even to level 1 race trim. He does like his speed balance, so Bag should be close to a really good setup. Then we can use that first qualifying again to hammer that in. Holgerson's the only one I'm even a little bit concerned about at the moment. That race trim not coming along very quickly. We definitely want to stay on it. And he wants harder handling as well. So we definitely need to make some changes with Holgerson. But still good enough for third position at the moment. Fourth now. Again, Gabler, the class, Laurie right behind. Bags is up to third. Again, he does have slightly better parts. Okay, here comes the water. Do we want to come in yet? I'd like to try to just stay out long enough to get to level 2 super softs if I can. Okay, she's going to have to come in anyway. Let's let Bags come around through this set. Yeah, let's have him do one more lap, because I'm not sure if we're going to get there if he doesn't. Okay, now we'll bring him in. We'll switch to inters. So we've got to lower our tire temps here. We'll switch to inters, make whatever adjustments we can. The race trim, we are just over halfway there with about half the time expired. So I still want to focus on that as opposed to the qualifying, which means I really have got to keep hitting that hard. Down to 4.9 for Holgerson. Bags still looking good at 7.7. Okay, so yeah, 73%, but she did give us some feedback. She wants more ballast to the front, and she wants a harder handling. Probably that's going to be all the way there. We would want more speed anyway. Think about there is going to be right, and then maybe not quite that much more speed. Let's try that. That should be close. Okay, now race trim, and obviously we're going to switch to the inters. So that should have a good chance at being a little bit better. And there's level 2 on the super softs. We're probably only going to get to level 1 on the inters. Let's see how Bags is looking. It should be pretty good. Yeah, excellent, great, and great. So we just need a tweak. Only 93% though. Boy, that's... I mean, I would think it'd be up 95 or so. Okay. Well, we're going to want the race trim, the inters, so let's get that set up. Right where we want to be on the cornering. The handling probably wants more understeer, but I don't know how to get it, frankly. And then that was okay. Maybe a bit more speed. Let's try giving a bit more speed. Yeah, okay, because that'll... Yeah, and then just bump that a little bit to give him that little bit more understeer. Let's try that. Okay, so level 2 for super softs, almost to level 2 for race trim. And we're going to see what we can get on the inters. We're going to be really close, but I think we're going to hit level 3 on the race trim. So let's say 3 race trim, 2 super softs, and 1 for inters. That's probably about as good as we can hope for. Look at Bags running at 8.2, as Holgerson is now starting to struggle just a little bit. There's our level 2 on the race trim. We've got more to get. We're going to try to stay out here for these last few minutes. It's going to get like dry-ish, then it's going to go back up. I think I just want to stay on these inters. I'm not going to get up to level 3 on super softs anyway. So let's just stay out on the inters, which the majority of the field has out right now. Let's try to get to level 1 on them. Not happy with the speed balance. That's interesting. He actually wants his speed balance in a different place. Well, we'll check into that when we go into qualifying tomorrow. It's going to be a big day of qualifying tomorrow, and should have time to make that adjustment. Holgersen liking the handling better. Track drying out, and then now the rain comes back. You can see 30, 31 degrees. That is murder on tires. Especially when we're running ultras and supers this weekend. We're going to hit level 1 on inters, and I think we're going to hit the race trim too. It's looking good for it. So, yeah, I mean, we did that little bit at the beginning of the qualifying trim. And it's just a, well, hope we have a chance to get back to it deal. And it doesn't look like that's actually going to happen. Holgersen happy with the speed balance. There's our level 3 race trim. And we could... I don't think we're going to make it, but I'm going to have Holgersen come in and just go back out on qualifying just for the fun of it. Because we're not going to get any farther with the inters anyway. Yeah, only 20-some seconds. She's close. So I'm not going to change anything except for that. 97%. Yeah, and she's barely going to get back on the track if she does. But again, we weren't going to hit a higher number on those. So we really didn't have much of a chance at getting that qualifying in. Okay, so 4th and 6th. Look at Gabler, just several seconds, it looks like. Oh, nope, that's just showing the last lap. Okay. Bags having among the better days out there at 8.4. It might have been the best day. Yeah, it was. Bags with the best form of it, anybody, able to get him up to 4th. With an imperfect setup. So we can see Hammer with Gabler and Laurie for Spartan, the first couple spots. But then they had Cruz down in 12th, Sevilla down in 16th. So we were more consistent. They've more got a strong and a weak driver, at least so far. Practice, you never tell that much. We're called okay-ish by one fan. Whoa, look at that. That's a lot of rain. We've got true storms coming our way for the first day of qualifying. First round of qualifying, rather. We're definitely going to want to be on wets at the beginning. And, yeah, well, that's a good thing to just use as a trial run. I think we're going to be able to use super softs later. Well, if it's qualifying, I'm going to want to use ultras. Well, those are the only two tires. Only two options I have anyway, so we might as well select them both. Okay, so we're definitely want to go with wets and then adjust our situation here with the setup. And okay, went from okay to great, so maybe a little bit more on the low speed. we want to stick handling right where it is. And for speed, so maybe just a tad more speed, top speed, and a tad more on the low speed for cornering. So let's try that. And that. And then if we that's a bit much here. I'll just try that a little bit first. Okay, it's real iffy, these small changes. Let's just try that. We're just trying to get a little bit more. Get it up to 98, 99 instead of 97. Okay, so wet here. And then, yeah, we actually made it worse that last time. So, excellent, excellent, excellent. We want to stick right there on the cornering. We've got great, and great, and good. Okay, so we want to be actually probably just a little bit higher, right about in that area on the handling. And then we were at OK for the speed. Down there, we're at great there and good here. So we actually want to be maybe in there on the speed. Maybe something like that. Why can I not adjust? There we go. Mouse wasn't cooperating. That's probably not going to be, it's probably going to be a little bit too high on the acceleration there. Right about there is probably where I want to be. Let's try that. Because, of course, again, the adjustments I make now do not cost me time on the track. They will later on. So let's get Holgerson out. I don't know that it matters that much who I send out first. Let's get Holgerson out. And we could frankly care less about the times here because I think it's going to be a crappy time. And so for that reason, I'm actually just going to send them out. Do a start and stop. Get out there, come back in, tell me what you think of the setup. And then run an actual, you know, on dry tires lap. Only one of them. After it dries out to give us a time. And Bag's having a good day. Holgerson not winning any awards, as she did not last time. Okay, what do you have to say about that? Still 97. It's just a different 97. Ugh. Alright, we'll try to tweak that in a bit. Oh, yeah, you're overheated, but it doesn't matter because you're coming in. And what did you think? 99. Excellent across the board. Okay, so we've nailed Bags' setup. We want to try to just tweak Holgerson's a bit. I could live with 97. I'd just rather not. So I'm just going to speed this up. Actually, let's speed it up a little bit more, just because we're going to sit in here and not do anything, and we're just waiting for times. I think I want to hold this till about 3 minutes to make sure we get a decent time at the end of it. Of course, we are just sort of putting all our chickens in this one egg at the end, but I really don't see that being a problem. We're starting to get some grip now. Oh, it's going to rain at the very end. Okay, stop. It's going to rain at the very end. Let's get out there now. So, definitely going to throw on the ultras. And let's see. This is where we were. So, great, excellent, great. We kind of went the same. Great. Okay, so okay. Great. Great. Maybe in between on those. And then on the speed balance, good. There. Okay, so let's, hold on, a little bit higher speed. Yeah, let's try it. I mean, I don't know that I'm going to be able to make this any better, so let's just try it. Bags will stay where he is. And Holgerson just barely ahead of some traffic. You actually have been out of the pits yet. You just didn't finish a lap, so you don't think you have been. Okay, and then you're probably going to be racing in some wet weather at the end, which is awesome. But all you've got to do is finish top 15. Your form isn't as good as it will. You're going to be behind in traffic. So we are basically throwing every wrench we can into Will Baggs here. But still, it still should not be a problem. We still should have enough quality to finish top 15, right? Let's not screw this up. Of course, I want to nail my temps. There's 1, right where we want it to be. And 119 for Blasi, so we're seeing some times under the 120 mark. Alright, see how Holgerson does. Just a hair behind the top time. 0.02 of a second. And now Holgerson's setting the pace. And here comes the weather. Slowing us down, but still under 119. Oh, Sevilla beat it. And Hashimoto beat that, and Baggs is behind that pace a little bit. And the rain definitely hurting his time. fourth. No, you're not going to take another crack at it. Not until a little bit later. But yeah, fourth and sixth, just fine. And we'll see if we got there on Sevilla. We may have to take one of those 97% setups. Bags obviously sitting pretty at triple excellence in 99. I'd be fine with Hashimoto finishing in first because Atsuno is not a big threat. Somebody other than Hammer or Spartan getting those points would be fine. None of the top drivers from the top teams, being eliminated here. Spartan in second and third ahead of us in fourth and sixth, so they're a concern. But Hammer only finishing in eighth with Cruz. Fifth and eighth with Gabler. Okay, so they were a little bit behind us there. But you can see 6 of the top 8 being taken up by the top 3 teams. Okay, and then of course, second round, a little more serious, and this is the one where we're going to lock in our tire choice. It is looking like better weather. Let's see, it is going to rain, so let's see, can we get out there and get around and get in? If we go out right away, yeah, our first lap's going to be in the wet period because it takes 1:20, so it's going to be almost 3 minutes in. So it would be around the 7-minute mark. So that's not going to work. We could send one driver out on inters. Does Holgerson need... She ran 97%. I think that's... got 2 excellence. I think that's the best 97%. I mean, we haven't been able to find an excellent on the speed balance, and probably not going to. So I'm going to stick with that. Honestly, I want to wait a bit. I want to see what the weather is going to do. And I just want to wait because I'd like to hit... Like, it looks like we're going to have this warm gap after the rain. And maybe it stays dry. Now, if we wanted to hit that, we want to be out there just over 5. Maybe a little bit under 7. Because then we'd be a little bit over 5 minutes. We'd be starting our lap just as it dried out. Later, if we, or later potentially. It cools off after that, which means it won't be quite as fast. Hang on, let's wait about another minute. Here comes the rain. Yeah, it's going to do nothing but cool. Okay, I think we want to go out about 650 is what I'm going to guess. Let's get Holgerson out there first. And then Baggs, who's unfortunately seeing his form drop at the moment. Still in the mid-sevens, though, is quite good. And the track almost totally dried out as we wrap up the warm-up lap here for Holgersen. Baggs trying to hit the tire temp down to just over 7, so not winning any awards there. Okay, there we go. We did hit the tire temps. Oh, and look, it's going to rain again at the very end once more. Yeah. So this looks like the only clear point. I don't even think we want to try to go back out again if we get a decent time here. Holgersen having to make her way around traffic there on that turn. Probably went wider than she was intending. But still with better weather, and you can see the weather difference there. Baggs just behind her pace as he comes around. Okay, a little bit more behind it. But we're the top two. And I would expect, I mean, we're going to have some other drivers setting times. They might be interrupted by a bit of water here at the end. And I think those are going to hold to be in the top 10. And we'd be getting water if we went back out again. So I'm gonna stick with it, see what happens. Just sort of watch these times as they come in. We're half a second ahead of everybody else because we hit the weather properly. But again, I think we're gonna be seeing some other times that are gonna be better. Stefansson moving all the way up to 5th. We can see some of the lower ones. Yeah, Parisi 3rd. See how high Trenoweth goes up. All the way up to 8th. As some of these slower times. Now the question is, how much faster are these drivers going to get now that they're going out? Because they are going out. But, I mean, let's take a look at Hashimoto. They're going out, but now it's starting to rain, and they haven't even started. Well, here's Lori. Behind the pace just a little bit, and probably getting worse because of the weather is the issue. Yeah, Lori up to 3rd. Would have been a lot more competitive with us without the weather problem. And you can see Sevilla. So we hit the weather on the button, and other drivers didn't. That's the bottom line here. Boy, Sevilla. Sorry about your luck. And I'm not that excited about 1st and 2nd. What I'm more excited about is the good drivers that are going to get squeezed out here. So finding a good gap in the weather really benefiting us, as we have Lori and Cruz from Spartan and Hammer, but one for each did not make it. Sevilla in 14th, and Gabler, the points leader, in 12th. So they'll be starting in the back of the field and have a disadvantage in the race. Great for us. No qualifying bonus, but we go into qualifying 3 with perhaps a chance to beat Lori and Cruz and get on the pole. I definitely would like Lori's chances to get the pole here, but let's see if we can make something of the weather, and it's going to rain again. Of course it's going to rain again. Why wouldn't it be raining again? Okay, so we're going to have rain for the first few minutes. That looks like Inter's weather. But then what's it going to do later? Do I want to try? And the thing is, it's dipping off just like it did last time. I think I want to wait and see again if there's a gap in there. Worst case scenario, we just do one less Inter's run later. But best case is we get, you know, a spot in there where we can do some things. So let's just sort of hang on, let everybody else just go out. There's Lori. Now Stefansson goes out. And you can see Cruz still with the best time so far. We've got some drivers going out on Ultras and some on Inters. Going out on Ultras just seems pointless right now. Okay, we're going to have more rain. Boy, that's a tight hole to fit into. Okay. I think I want to try to go right out at 7. And then we'd finish at like 4 something. Yeah. I think I'll send Holgersen out at 7:10. I'm going to try to hit that gap, and then if we don't hit it, we go with wet tires later. I'm going to try 7:10, and then whenever I can get bags out there. I don't know if we're going to make it, but we're going to try to do a dry tire run during what looks like it's going to be the only period of availability. Boom, 7:10. Let's go. And then closer behind than usual, because we've got to try to fit this in for bags. Let's see if we can make this happen. As I say, it's going to be tight. Holgersen may be early, bags may be late. And of course, 2 points on the line for the pole sitter, so this is not just about starting position on the grid. There is actual quantifiable points that we're going after here. Let's back that off a bit. Oh, perfect and overheated. Okay. I thought I was going to blow that, but I didn't. Okay. It managed to hit them both. And here's Holgersen starting just as the grip beginning to form. Bags with a slightly better situation to start with, and there is Holgersen off to the good start. Now the question is, are we going to finish this by the time the rain hits? Holgersen a 10th in front. Bags was faster. And here comes the rain as Holgersen finishes. So, you know, Holgersen hit it pretty close to the nose, and yet it wasn't the best. And Bags dealing with a little bit too much water at the end, but still manages to get his nose in front. Okay. I don't think we're going to go any faster than that on Inters. So we're just going to sit and see what happens. Boy, I mean, I think I've did about as well as you could do. I mean, if I had to do over again, maybe another 5-10 seconds earlier for Holgersen and try to squeeze Bags even a little bit closer. But I might have messed up the tires that way. I almost did as it was. Couldn't really change much about the way I've done these two sessions, and then you've got to just hope that drivers do a decent lap, which they did in this case. So 2.5 to go. And time to see what times they run, although I don't... Yeah, we got a couple drivers going out on ultras. I don't see that working for you in the wet. Okay, there's Wood going in. Yeah, not even bothering to go. Yeah, and Kalusa coming into the pits as well. They're not even bothering. There's Stefansson in front. Let's ride along with Stefansson. Not far behind him is Blasi there. You can see by the mini-map. Yeah, they're 7/10 behind after one sector. I just don't think there's any way anybody gets close. Nope. Nobody getting better times. We're going to sit on the pole with Will Baggs. We're going to get 2 points for being good at judging the weather. Oh, thank you very much, Rio. 39-year-old Will Baggs going to sit on the pole. And we're just now waiting for Stefansson and Blasi to come in. But yeah, Laurie's going to be right behind us in third. So that's going to be the main concern, I believe, is staying in front. You're right to celebrate, Will Baggs. It's a great moment for Wolfhagen Racing. So the weather playing the primary role, not driving, not setup, not anything else. We managed the weather, frankly, much better than I usually do. I think I hit it almost perfect there. And that's really going to help us as we get those points for being the very top. You notice other drivers went faster than us. You can see like that 4.93 for Maxime Laurie. I think that now Holgerson's time in qualifying 2 was the best overall, but Laurie was right there with it, and Baggs did not go quite that fast. We are awesome. Go team. Hashimoto got a lot of hard work to do tomorrow at Rio. So Wolfhagen dominating there. And, oh, look, it's raining to start the race. Light rain. But this is going to surprise absolutely nobody. And, okay, it's switching us to inters because of weather. So we're not stuck with that rule. And, yeah, it definitely looks like inters type of weather. So we want to stick on that to begin things off. Thing is, do we want to be on inters or do we want to be on the super sauce? We have a better bonus on the super sauce, but it's inters to start, and it's going to be wet for at least the first half of the race. The starting part is usually the most important. I don't see any reason not. I think I want to stick with the inters bonus. We don't have a big one, but it's better than nothing. And then, of course, the race trim. We're going to go with the same setup. We're going to take fresh inters out there, which can last quite a bit. Now, the question is, we're going to be in front. We're going to be trying to stay in front. So we're not going to plan on... You know, with only 33 laps and a 20-lap tire, that's right about the line where if we can get ahead, stay ahead, and not push the tires, I would like to do this in 2. So let's say we get through 16 laps. Let's go with 8 laps of fuel. And we may always have to change this up, but my goal that I'm trying to hit here is to go with 1 stop. And then we'll add however much fuel we need to, you know, we'll probably have to max it out to get through that second half. The idea is we're going to have to run slow but steady. And we're starting the race off in hybrid, and look at Holgersen go bolting at the beginning. Bag slips to second. And Holgersen, frankly, with enough of a lead that I want to drop back to high. Bags flipping to 4th, so we definitely got to keep him, 5th now. Keep him pushing with everything he's got. Holgersen, though, with a solid lead. It gets down to half a second, I'll have her push again. Her driving form is not great. Bags is good. He's back up to 4th now. And wow, boy, did those tires go up fast. Go to conserve. And he drops down to 5th. And yep, okay, there we go. Holgersen trying to hold off Blasi is for the moment, and not anymore. And we're going to have to go conserve there as well. Okay, see if I can keep Bags up a spot in neutral. Holgersen down to 3rd, Bags 6th. So our spoilers, our new ones, are helping us some, I'm sure, but not as much as one might have hoped. Okay, go back up to neutral now. And let's harvest. Let's not conserve any more of the fuel than we have to. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, no, I'm still in overtake. I don't want to be in overtake. Go back to medium. Okay, 4th and 6th. And now Holgersen slipping to 5th. 5th and 6th. This is not the start that I wanted. There's Holgersen back up to 4th. Bags is driving well and has better parts. I don't know why he slipped so fast. Meanwhile, Holgersen not driving well and bouncing up and down after the brilliant start. Now, I want to track the tires because I may have to go down to conserve. And if I have to go down to conserve the rest of the way, I want to do it. So we're at 80 and 81, not even through 4 laps. So we did push them some. So, you know what? Let's run a lap at conserve. Let's run a lap here at conserve. And there's Holgersen crossing the line at 79%. 4th and 6th, 4th and 5th, still not terrible. That would put us 2nd on the day, just ahead of Hammer and Atsuno. And behind Spartan, it would really make it a very tight 3-way race. Boy, Holgersen 2.7, just stinking it up out there. Bags running pretty well. But at conserve tires here, we are doing just fine. Oh, 2.5. Ugh. Only losing 3%. We want to run another 11 laps, so that'd be 33 down to 40. Okay, I think I can afford to do the neutral conserve alternating deal. Now that assumes, of course, that, oh boy, it's going to get wetter, if anything. Yeah, so wet weather racing, we may want to switch to, we'll see what it's going to be the second half, whether it's wet or it's inters. But now our question is just making the fuel last that far. Can we do that? And let's see, 8. I think we can. Yeah, 3 laps of fuel left. We should be able to do that. Okay, so 4th and 6th are current positions. And Holgerson's still less than 3 seconds off the lead of Laurie. And our tires, again, you look at our tires, they're better than their other drivers, generally speaking. Laurie is up here in 63%. We're sitting at 70 and 69. So our tires are looking a little bit better. Happy about that. As Holgerson trying to make up some ground here on Cruz and Hashimoto, Bags sort of stuck in between drivers at the moment. And I don't really think I want to burn any extra fuel here. I mean, if you can make a pass, make a pass. If you can't, don't. Holgerson driving like crap and still getting by Lissandro Cruz. So 3rd and 6th. And we would win this race. Or no, we'd be in first place. We're not winning the race still. Boy, look at that. I mean, that would be, yeah, just like a point or two right now. I mean, we're early in the second race, but just a point or two separating the top 3 teams. So if that holds at all, we're really going to have an early dogfight this season. Time for Bags to go hybrid. And frankly, pretty close here on Holgerson. Yeah. So I think that we just want to, we're about 1.5 laps of fuel. Let's not go crazy with it. Let's just burn the fuel and try to get through the first half of this race. Now we're going to really, it depends on how far back in the pack we are when we pit. But I think we've got to assume that we're back far, or that we're near the front rather, that we're not going to get a lot of help from the hybrid on the second half. I think we're going to want to really pretty much top off on the fuel and then drive more aggressively if we can. Okay, if we've got the condition on the parts, drive as aggressively as that will allow. Just burn up the fuel in the second half of the race if we find that we have extra. I think that's the best I can do. So 2.1 and then 4.6 here for Bags, fighting for that spot with Blasi. And boy, that's just going back and forth. Right now, Bags with the spot. And that, that 5th or 6th position, is worth the point in the standings. So it's not like it's irrelevant. It matters who gets that. But look at that, 2.4 for Holgerson and still running 3rd. But 2 seconds off the lead. And yeah, I mean, look at everybody else, like literally the top 8 is at like 6% or less on their battery. So now we're gaining the advantage of that whole situation. This is as good a time as any for Holgerson to back off and gain some tire temp. Bags, you know what? You're not going to have a better spot either. I want to watch you a little bit more closely. And the one other thing is, with the longer pit stops to add fuel and whatnot, you really can't pit drivers on the same lap. That's just not going to work. Trenoweth has crashed. It's only a 1-sector yellow, though. Trenoweth, one of the weaker drivers in the field, that probably not really going to affect much of anything. Okay, let's go neutral again. So we can do neutral a lot more often than conserve in this weather with inters. So it's good temperature for inters, except when we're going to see that temperature spike. So that's not going to help. See if Bags can make this pass on Cruz as Blasi comes up from behind in the traffic. And I'd really like to push, but we don't have the fuel to do it. We don't have the tire temp to do it. Oh, there's Bags low. I thought we had the pass. Maybe we do anyway. Can we stay ahead of Cruz? No. Looks like the answer is no, but we're still there. Okay, Blasi's going to come in and pit. Bags unable to make the pass. Holgerstein's staying just over 2 seconds off the lead. Bags slowly falling back. 1.9. Okay, I do believe that is the worst I have ever seen. Get it together. .8. Ugh. Let's take a look at our weather. Yeah, it's going to rain, and boy, the second half of the race, I think inters are slightly better overall, but wets are going to be better some of the time. So this is going to get interesting. Really going to want to watch this stuff carefully. And here's lap 15. Looks like Holgerson's in second, but I think she wants to pit first. A little bit lower energy, a little bit lower fuel. Yeah, let's just go conserve for a second. Really got to do that with both drivers here. Just briefly, I want Holgerson to pit after 16 and Bags after 17. That's how I want to play this. And she's basically not going to have any fuel left. I may even have to go to low. I'll have to watch that. And Bags, if he's going to get 2 more laps out of this... Yeah, okay, go neutral. Let's go low. I want to make sure you have enough. And here's Holgerson. I want to... Yeah, lap 16. We're going to pit. We're going to go with inters. We're going to go with a full load on the fuel. And we may even have to conserve fuel to get there. Says you don't have enough fuel to finish the race, but I think you will. Okay, you know what, Holgerson, let's just go low to make sure you make it. And then running out of energy with just over a lap to go is Bags. Let's pit. Fuel, negative 0.61. It shouldn't be that low at all with your running low. Okay, inters. Max fuel as well. Parts are fine. I think we definitely want to start neutral and harvest. Boy, Bags is really... How is Bags out of fuel when he was running in low. Boy, did I ever misjudge that. I mean, I thought it would reduce his usage a lot more. Oh, that's aggravating. Now he's losing all kinds of positions. We're really going to struggle to have a decent situation here. Meanwhile, Holgersen is in 8th, still driving horribly. And, you know, I could just restart this. I want to salvage something from this race because I think our strategy is quality. Okay, let's go medium. Low is not going to save us much. Let's definitely remember that. Low is not going to save us much. Let's go neutral. So 6th and 14th. And Baggs behind a bunch of people who have come in. So he's going to have to try to make his way up through the field. It's going to be problematic if we can't get him up there. But look, 1.2 for Holgersen. This is ridiculous. And Baggs doing badly, but not as bad as she is. My only solace is that he's going to harvest better back there. 1.0. Oh, Mia Holgersen, get a grip. We still have a couple drivers yet to come in. The leader, Sevilla, and also Dutt. 0.9. Are you really going to drive this bad? Baggs up to 13th. Has made a pass on, looks like, Stefansson. And he's got some time before the car in front of him. 0.7 for Holgersen, who is 6th, now 4th, as the two leaders come in. Okay, so everybody's back out on the track. And we would be... okay, 3rd in this race. Tied for 3rd overall, still right in it. So I want to try to move up here. 0.6. And drops a spot to Kaluza. Well, that shouldn't last. I think I've got to start going low on Holgersen. Because I'm not going to have enough fuel otherwise. Okay, she's finally recovering. Now the key thing here is that most of the other teams, if not all of them, are going to have to pit a second time. And then we'll see what happens. Baggs sliding to 15th. I don't think all of them are, but I think the majority of them are. And that should put us up in the points for both drivers, hopefully. And now the temperature's low enough that neutral is just pretty much holding our temp. And also the cars on the wetter tires are doing better right now. But over the last few laps, that's not going to be the case. Yep, Bags losing positions all the way back to 17th. It's okay, just hang on back there. So 10 laps to go. And I think I've got almost enough fuel here with Holgersen. I want to try to hang on to this spot. Go medium. A few laps I may have to drop it down to low again. Better to use the fuel now, be lighter later, and therefore faster. We're pretty much at the peak here, or the worst part for our tires. Nine to go. Boy, and Bags has all kinds of fuel. I'm going to risk going high the rest of the way. As he drops another spot. Holgersen, I'd like to conserve her tires, but I've got to keep her going. Because Cruz is right behind. Then Hume. Well, Hume, you're not going to last. Because as soon as the... Ugh. Oh, down to 6th. That's no fun. You know, let's conserve now. Just have a little bit more to use later. He says as he starts catching up. Okay, fine, don't conserve. I'll go hybrid. Now Bags, just to use it up. And a little bit here, we're going to start pushing your tires. Looks like 6 laps left. Now we're starting to see some drivers come in. So let's push it. Bags up to 13th. Alright, let's drop to neutral there. And here's Hashimoto into the pits. Alright, I'm ready to go high now on Holgersen. Think I've got enough. Up to third, past Hume on the wet tires that are no longer helpful. Now making the play on Cruz. Oh, Bags, if I had not screwed up your strategy, how high up would you be? Come on, I want to be able to go conserve, but I got to get by first. Neck and neck with Cruz here. Looks like Laurie's going to win. You know what, Bags? Let's just go for that position. And why am I not on hybrid? Let's conserve here. Okay, Laurie had to pit. Ignore. Alright, let's go medium. Looks like Bags is going to be stuck in 10th. Where he will get some points. Overall, we still look like the race winners despite the screw up. Holgerson now in first as Cruz pits. Okay, 2 laps to go. How do I not screw this up? Well, I definitely want to go neutral here. And let's go high. A lap and a half left. I should have enough, but let's double check. Yeah, I think I have enough. And just trying to hold off Laurie, who has much better tires. And is not driving like a wounded duck. Come on, Holgerson. Last lap. She's probably got some... Yeah, she doesn't have much energy to spend on her speed burst, but you know it's coming. I think I've got enough. Push on those tires. I don't think I have enough to do any more than this, so I can either hold it here or I can't. Oh, why are you still down there? That was a mistake. Even though Bags is up to 8th now. Yeah. So it's this battle at the top to see who is going to be first here. I think Holgerson's going to hold it. Yes, she does. Gives it up to Walter Hoffman with the win. Well, I feel great about getting Mia Holgerson to the winner's circle driving like crap. I feel terrible about what just happened to Will Bags. And he would have been, you know, I think 6th at worst. Because of this big gap here. Maybe as high as 4th. Somewhere in the 4th to 6th range. Without that fuel issue. Oh. Still, I'm going to get away with it. Young, upcoming star Mia Holgerson gets the win. Despite the royal screw-ups. Despite having a bad day racing, the royal screw-ups came on Will Bags. He gets the pole position. Hashimoto runs the fastest lap, which is great for us. So Holgerson takes the points lead. Bags is in 5th. distant fifth. Gabler and Laurie close there for second. And Wolfhagen Racing now has a sizable lead at the top of the table. Spartan with 15 points in second, Hammer third with 12. But things are all of a sudden looking up for Wolfhagen Racing after Rio. Again, despite the problems. Made that look easy. No. We did not make it look easy. Not with all the pressure. So really the one-stop strategy saved us. That's the bottom line. My psychic told me this would happen. Oh, dear. 2.2. I mean, 4.9 is not great. But 2.2, and yeah, look at his abilities diving. We're going to need to get more and more from Mia as it goes on. Boost marketability. We've got wet tires wearing more slowly from now on. So much for the mechanic relationship there. But yeah, look at this. I mean, Bags is not going to be worth much by the end of this season. So, in fact, he's going to probably start losing abilities with the next race. It's going to happen even faster than I thought. Meanwhile, 4.7, 2.2, and then 4.5, 4.9. So, yeah. We're going to need Holgerson to dominate, and then just Bags to give us whatever points he can. I still like where we're headed, but it's going to be interesting. Made a little bit of money. So, other than the brakes, we should pretty much be able to start boosting our parts. And you know, we're making enough money to probably gradually design more. But we should have the brakes ready soon, which would be the sort of the last of the two weaker ones. So at the moment, it's looking good. Sydney coming up next. That'll be next time. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with more of Surging Absurdity.